Aquarius. Hey guys. So, of all the zodiac signs right now, you could be having it the very worst. And that is because so much of the focus is on you. Saturn and Jupiter, two huge energies, and energies that don't just affect us and our personal lives, but they actually impact society at large. So the way that they affect you is going to be coming from the outside and the inside. Hello, welcome to gravity. Planets that make you ask, am I living the right life? Am I living the life that is for me and that is meant for me? Am I living my soul purpose? Am I living it to my full capacity? Am I achieving up to the expected standards? Not even just expected standards of like achievement, but expected standards of involvement and engagement. Am I doing enough? And am I focusing on the right things? Right? So this is going to be, in other words, this is already going to be a very difficult time for you because there's a lot of emotions that maybe you just didn't want to deal with or face. And I think that or you're dealing with somebody, but that's also emotional. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain the emotions, number one, and then we'll get into the impact, right? The sense of all of a sudden hitting a wall or building a wall, keeping somebody out, or getting hit in the nose because somebody slammed a door on your face. Self-defensiveness. There is a sense of feeling like you have to automatically lock up, tie down, and defend yourself right now, or you're dealing with somebody, you're getting that impact from somebody, as if the key to their happiness or the key to your happiness, just switch it on and off, whatever relates to you. The key to their happiness is to be alone. The only way that I can be happy right now is just like leave me alone, because and then part of that could be true in that there's so much to work through. There's just like so much to comprehend and understand, and maybe it's difficult to do that right now. It's just a sense, if I shut myself away, if I isolate, then I need space right now. That's kind of like colloquially what it boils down to, right? But it feels on the outside of that as if there's just a bunch of no's, there's just a bunch of denials, there's just a bunch of restrictions, there's a bunch of locking somebody out or being locked out, and having a choice made against you, and still feeling those same blockages, those same barricades in your face that you always have, or feeling only safe if you're putting them up or throwing them up in front of people, so that's the only way that you can actually feel safe. It's like the key to happiness would be to just be alone, right? To be away from it all for a while. Now this could be much needed, a sense of take some time out and sort of retreat into yourself, just to have conversations with yourself right now, to understand yourself more and know yourself more. But ultimately, I feel like, especially to people on the outside, it feels like the hard door being smashed in your face. There's a sense of great loss here and great suffering. And this great suffering could actually be coming from a relationship that you never got to have. Something that was denied to you that you'll never get back, or something that you miss a great deal, something that was kind of like the ideal relationship in that it supported all your hopes and dreams. This could have been your family, or what you hoped for your family, what you wanted for your family, or what your family wanted for you, and a sense of them looking at it, looking at you, supporting you, putting everything into you, and in some ways feeling like, well, I haven't been good enough, or I haven't done enough, or I haven't achieved enough, or I have to achieve enough to live up to all the investments they made for me. There's a lot of pressure right now, is what I'm saying. This sense of almost like moving away from everybody to have, like, to be able to sort of uber focus on what it is you want. I just feel like there's a sense of feeling like you're never going to live up to somebody's expectations, feeling like you're always going to be a disappointment, or if not a disappointment, like you could just never be good enough. Or there's somebody in your life making you feel like you could just never be good enough, and that they're always slamming a door on your face, no matter what. It seems like they'd even rather be alone than be with you. And there's just this mentality of, well, maybe then I'm better alone. Maybe I'm better just not trying this at all, because I want to be me out loud. But at the same time, it almost feels like I have to hide what I really want and what I really feel inside. What my desires are, maybe I don't know what I want anymore. Or their reaction to me is making me doubt what I want, and making me feel like maybe I didn't want those things for the right reason, or that's not the right path that I'm supposed to be going on. Because if it was, why are so many doors still being smacked in my face? Or why is this person still refusing to see me? Or like, why do they keep shutting down? Ultimately, what I would say to you is, it is not about them. It is about you. And it's not necessarily even about, it's about your reactions right now. That's what it is. A sense of, are you going to lock yourself away? Is the only way to defend yourself to just shut down? A sense of maybe even feeling in some ways like, why don't I care? Shouldn't I care more? That could be also what's going on. It does seem to be that you are very goal focused, aspirational focused, almost like fulfilling family destiny, or carrying out a lineage, or something like something that multiple generations have worked for. There is a sense of just being absolutely adamant and steadfast and loyal to that, or having somebody in your life that is adamant, steadfast, and loyal. There's adamant, steadfast, and loyal. I'm going to get into other conversations, but there's just this sense of really being loyal to what it is that you feel you have to fulfill. But is it what you really want? Are those your desires? And are you willing to be alone, or be left alone and be isolated for the rest of your life? Like, this is something that takes a lot of alone time, and maybe people are starting to feel hurt by it, by the fact that you're not spending enough time with them anymore. And ultimately it's like, but I need this time by myself, or else I'll never get this done. So the question is, it's a very tricky question. Why do you want to get it done? Do you think that you have to be that international superstar because that's what you've always wanted to be, because it fulfills your true potential? Or because you feel like that's the only way you're going to be loved? That's the only way to be loved, is to be that popular and that famous or that wealthy. It's like, it's almost like somewhere along the lines you learned a bad lesson about what you had to be in order to be loved. And ultimately it's coming back. It's coming at you right now, that lesson. And why? Why do I do the things that I do? Jupiter conjunct Saturn is very common, and it's still the same. It's still been conjuncting for the past year. It's like, why do I do the things that I do? Is it something that I really want? Is it something that isn't actually important to me, or something that I just feel like I need to want, or need to achieve in order to be loved, or live up to my own expectations of what it is to be loved? A lot of crazy shit. It's like, how do I blend with my aspirations? Are my aspirations even things that I want anymore? Because you're allowed to change. Things are allowed to shift, especially when Jupiter and Saturn, within 2 days of each other, move into a whole new energy, which is Aquarius. And Aquarius energy is different from Capricornian energy. It's so much more focused on the good of the community, the good, new ideas, testing new things, wanting things to change, or experimenting with new stuff, or being interested in learning about different concepts, right? Whereas Saturn would be like, nope, we're going to stick with what works. Thank you very much. This is what works. This is what makes money. And that's what we're going to uphold. So all of a sudden the energy has shifted, and it's impacting you. You've taken it. It's like, oh, big old thud. Big old thud. It's impacting you. How can you not be impacted? What I think is that what's ironic is that it's turning out to be a lot more of an emotional response. I mean, the moon is in Cancer right now. It's full moon in Cancer tonight, Aquarius. So it's almost like being able to release and let go of what you were when you were young. And are you ready for that? Including those aspirations that you developed when you were young, things that you always, I always thought I wanted to be this. I want to be this. This is what I want to be. But when did you make that decision? Did you make it when you were 5 or 15? Or did you make it when you were 45? Like, this is about allowing yourself the flexibility to stand where you are now and decide, well, what makes me happy now? What do I want based on who I've become now? And allowing the past to drop away. But for you, it's concepts and expectations and aspirations. That's sort of where you're at right now. Hold on. Here's some good news. All this pressure that you're feeling is a shift. It's a shift energy. It's a shift in energy. It's not necessarily, it's almost like, you know, we put so much stock in, and I'm an astrologer, so believe me, I put a lot of stock in the movement of the planets. But, you know, everything didn't have to happen on the 21st, on the Great Conjunction. Everything didn't have to become clear. What had to become clear was your commitment to taking the next step. But not necessarily everything all of a sudden shifts and change, and it just all of a sudden, you don't have to rush things. That's what the good news is. This sense of, you don't have to double down your efforts or walk away from something that you really care about to achieve what you were working toward. No, slow the fuck down. This isn't a life and death situation. And it's almost like, in some ways, maybe you have isolated yourself from people and separated yourself from people because you thought this was a life and death situation. You thought, this is terminal. I only have one way through. I only have one way out. There's only one option here. That's not true. There's a sense of finally being able to connect with people again and to take time and just watch the moon rise. A sense of touching people again, communicating with people again. This is also telling me that Aquarius energy is going to start opening up. We're going to start opening up our quarantines. A sense of wanting to, of like be in contact with people again. That's that sense of like, you know, it's all of a sudden there's going to be a shift of nothing is so bad that's going to keep us from each other. Like, we need each other. A sense of really wanting to open things up, which is where your frustration could be coming from if you're dealing with the energy of somebody that's shutting down and backing away from you. Okay, now we're getting to it. Let's go into your spirit guide messages. Something came out in the past, and I knew that the past was going to. Okay, so this is being completely and totally imbalanced and dysfunctional, or getting some news that upset your life big time, getting some really bad news. Okay, so this is way in the past. I'm telling you right now, Aquarius, this happened to you like probably in your childhood, but this is about something that happened to you in the past. I'm going to call this the trauma. Because this is the trauma that, yep, 333, I just saw it. This is the trauma that happened to you in your past that literally superimposed itself onto your very will and changed who you are. Almost in some ways suppressed who you are in order to make yourself feel comfortable, make yourself feel happy, make yourself feel safe. And right now, this is in the past, came out way in the past. So it's not happening right now, but you're almost like experiencing it again so that you can confront yesterday's trauma with whatever confrontation you have to confront now. It's almost like in confronting what you're confronting now and facing up to the fear of it all, there is just this sense of actually healing an old trauma. It's like taking that first step, you know, when you have OCD and feeling like, you know, if I take the first step out of the house, the house is going to fall down. And you take the first step, and it takes so much courage because you really do believe that like this is the end of your home and you're going to be buried in rubble. But you take that first step and you realize nothing bad has happened, and you take another step and still nothing bad is going to happen. But it's like facing that decision in your mind that something bad is going to happen and proving to yourself a whole new reality. I knew you guys were under some heavy fucking fire, but this is some big shit. So Aquarius, 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 Aquarius. Okay. So this is bad news right now. Sing your own song. No, it's a sense of suppression, self-suppression, not being who you are. Yeah. Like maybe even putting somebody else's words in your mouth, or feeling like you don't have a right to be yourself or be who you are. A sense of being caged, being locked down, and not allowed to fly free, because this is lack of liberation. You know, really interesting. It could also be not being able to find the right words to say. And instead of being so afraid that you're going to mess up, that you decide to just shut down and not talk at all. Because if you don't talk at all, then you can't mess up. But really where you're messing up is deciding to not talk at all. Because even if you sound like a total fool, or the tune isn't coming out correct, it's like people could help you and see where to help you. But it's in shutting down or deciding to just not talk at all, or keep yourself closed away, that you're actually doing yourself the greatest harm. Okay. Nightingale, love is all around. So this is the message of love, and feeling love all around, and feeling like, why is everybody else getting this love or out and about and able to connect when I'm not? And maybe all you need right now, honestly, is somebody to come rescue you. I feel like that's almost like, hello, where's my white knight? Or where's the permission? You know, a sense of let's get public again. Let's shift. Let's change. This is like a change in key, so that you can actually feel like you're singing in tune. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's what it is. It's like a key change. This is love is all around. Ooh. Somebody telling you that they love you, or wanting somebody's love. Let's keep reading. What'd I say? Oh my God. So yeah, this is definitely also a sense of wanting attention, wanting love, wanting to be noticed as something beautiful, wanting to hear that life is beautiful, that you're beautiful, wanting to be appreciated. You know, like feeling almost it's better to be alone, because there's just this sense of, but this is where you're moving to. Love, time for a deep dive. This is one-on-one connection with somebody. This is Gemini, Libra. So Aquarius, this is 100% air energy. This is like freedom. Finally being able to be free to love how you want, love who you want, or not being afraid to express what it is you feel to who you feel it toward. Not like, that's almost a sense of like getting out of your own way, or getting out of your own sense of self-defense. Know your worth. Know your worth, like really own everything that you are, even if it's awkward, even if it's stinky, even if it doesn't smell as beautiful as you want it to smell, or isn't as perfect, or fuck it. Well, where do these expectations even come from? This is self-ownership. This is first house energy of just really loving who you are and feeling good about who you are and confident about your own feelings and your own desires. And wishing somebody was here from the past to love you right now and accept you right now. Or having to decide that they would love you anyway, even if you're not sure that they would. And I think maybe that's the biggest fear right now is if I was everything that I wanted to be right now, would this person love me? Would I live up to this expectations? And I'll say this to you, especially if you've lost them through death, there's nothing but love right now. All they do is love. There's no judgment anymore. All that judgment they put on you when you were a kid was based on trauma and restrictions that they had learned. They're free now, especially if they've passed on. They're free now. There's no restrictions. There's no trauma. Their trauma's healed. So ultimately, everything that they taught you to be afraid of, or that you have to be this in order to, that's all gone, because they taught you that thinking that that was the only way to keep you safe here in the 3D world. Now they're in a place where they know nothing but love. So of course, right now, it's not about going back in time. It's about, where are they right now? Well, they're in a place of total love and light. I just saw an orb. I think it might have been dust, to be honest with you, but it was really weird how that just came. They're all love and light now. That's all they are. So there's no more restrictions. And that's what it is about thinking outside the box and realizing that what we were taught when we were young was based on what people needed to do or teach us to feel like they were keeping us safe. But now, of course you could be loved as you are. Of course. Somebody's awakening and transforming. This is Scorpio energy. This is that transformation and transference of the baseline 3D self to the higher self, the higher sense of self, and being able to evolve. That's really interesting. I want to know how that plays out in the 3D. There's a tarot card. You can go over there right now. There's a tarot card reading and extended if you want a more in-depth personal reading. Really want to know how these energies are playing out in your life right now. And that also includes your love and romance reading. So you can head over there right now or stick around for the angel messages, because they always have a beautiful voice, a voice that I don't have. So let's see what they have to say. Aquarius, if you have not yet, please do subscribe. If you've liked this video, please do like it and share it to your social media profiles. Also, if you ring that bell, you'll get notified when I upload almost 12 videos or more every single week. And Aquarius specific videos or information comes out every single Wednesday. So just so you know. And then I have an Instagram profile, which I invite you to, Born_without_boundaries. And that is where I do live readings Monday through Friday, just general energies and advice and motivation live with each other. And then also I post my astrological forecasts there and on Vimeo. So you could subscribe to those platforms as well and get the information before they show up here. So let's get a few more angel messages. So lots of ways to love and show your love and support for the channel. The extended link is below. And what's over there is, see, these oracle cards are a little bit more abstract. For me, tarot gets into the nitty-gritty and specifics. And what I need to know from this reading is, who are you dealing with? And what is the relationship? And how will this impact and apply to you? Let's read the angel messages. Archangel Michael is here. I am your link between heaven and earth, between your humanity and your divinity. Archangel Metatron, I'm sorry, I think I said Michael. I am here to help you heal the conflict that exists between your heart and mind. Feel me in your heart and thoughts. Through oneness, there is love. So this is about healing and about loving yourself, despite the fact that you've decided that you can never be loved. It's just wrong. Imagine, clearly visualize the life you want. Feel it in your heart and soul, and so it will come to be. Adventure, instead of seeing the current situation as an obstacle, try seeing it as an adventure. Explore all the possibilities. There are many more than you currently imagine. Instead of seeing things as either black or white, try to explore all the colors in between. Gratitude. Make gratitude your new attitude. The stars will shine brighter upon you. All in your world will become lighter. It's amazing, the cages that we weld for ourselves. Let's pick the first tarot card. Let's see. Let's go over to tarot and see, what is this definitely about? An imbalance, an injustice, something that was done wrong to you or decided against you, or an imbalance or an unhealthy relationship to partnerships. I'll see you over in the extended. The link is below.